I'm Grady.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Sharice.
And welcome to Highlights, a show where we recap a reality competition show, usually a drag one, like it's sports, even though it's not. This season, we're covering season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I gotta say, they gotta rev it up. These premieres have been a little lackluster for me.
True.
Slow start for sure.
I did like this one more than last week's.
I did too. So last week's episode was Big Opening number 2, the second of 2 premieres where we get to meet the second group of 7 drag queens competing on this season. Just like the last group, they were also tasked with performing in the talent show and showcasing their own unique talents, which we're going to talk about how that went this episode. They also had to come to the runway with their signature show-stopping drag, just like the last group as well. So just like last week, I figured we'd break these people down one by one. Yes. So first we have Georges. Georges is from San Antonio, Texas, and resides in Nashville, Tennessee. Georges' drag name comes from combining the word gorgeous with her boy name, which is George. How about that?
Original.
The creative process just is mesmerizing with this one. Okay. Then we have Deja Sky. Deja Sky is from Fresno, California. Shout out to the Central Valley. I know we all have history there.
History for sure.
Central Valley is deep rooted in our pasts. Deja's drag name comes from the Beyonce song Deja Vu and her childhood crush on the character Sky from the Puzzle Place TV series. I'm not familiar with that show. I don't know if either of you are, but good for her. Moving right along to Jasmine Kennedy. Jasmine is from Binghamton, New York. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that correctly. Morgantown, West Virginia, and currently resides in New York. She's all over the place. Her drag name comes from the character Jasmine from Aladdin and John F. Kennedy, but Instagram already had the name in use, so she changed the spelling to an I-E-N-D. Fun fact about Jasmine, she used to go by Jasmine Rikers, like the prison, but her mom told her she needed to be more classy.
Oh my goodness. Never discount a mom who tells you to be more classy.
But I bet they didn't have a Jasmine Rikers on Instagram. Probably would have saved her a lot of trouble. Then we have Maddie Morphosis. Maddie is from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Maddie's drag name comes from a play on the word metamorphosis. And Maddie is, of course, the first heterosexual drag queen to compete on Drag Race. Moving
What?
right
I'd
along.
never heard that before.
I know. In case you didn't know, in case they didn't make it known from every
It
turn.
was nowhere in the promos.
Right.
Why is no one talking about this?
I know. Next is Angeria Paris Van Michaels, or Angeria for short. She's from Sparta, Georgia, and currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia. Angeria's drag name comes from a girl she went to college with named Angera or Angeras. I don't remember how she pronounced it, but Angera. But she added an I before the A to make it more fancy.
And this makes toddlers and tiaras make so much more sense to me.
Angeria considers herself to be an old school pageant queen. I would say that definitely shows based on what we got so far. She's fantastic.
Old school pageant queen definitely is how I would describe her.
Yeah, I definitely think she's one to look out for.
Next up is Lady Camden. Lady Camden is from Camden Town, England, but currently resides in Sacramento, California. Shout out to the Central Valley again.
Is nice.
I know. Lady Camden is the third queen to be born in the UK that has competed on Drag Race after Morgan McMichaels and Rosé. Both were born in Scotland.
Briefly resided at Hogwarts.
The Sorting Hat's just like, Drag Race! No. Next up is Diabetti. Diabetti is from Springfield. Is it Missouri, I think? I don't know my states very well. And currently resides in Chicago, Illinois. Diabetti's drag name comes from her diagnosis of type 1 diabetes. And Diabetti is the drag sister, but alludes that is probably the drag daughter of season 12 runner-up Crystal Method.
I thought she said granddaughter.
Did
But
she?
no, I thought that's what she said. I didn't have time to rewatch the episode. I apologize. I didn't do my homework. That's my fault. But I could swear that she said grandmother, but they don't
That's
like
crazy.
these terms. So everybody's just sisters or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you next week. I'll do it.
Okay.
She
Okay.
is a spitting image of her grandmother, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm like, do they should...
What?
Maybe it's just something Crystal Method has made up to account for why she never ages. Like maybe she's just an immortal like drag queen. So she has to reinvent a new drag queen like every so often. Working theory. Oh, so of course everybody does their entrance. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm Drag Race. I'm a fierce bitch. Look out for me. Whatever they say when they walk in. And then I just want to point out Maddie Morphosis came in as like Guy Fieri, which is fantastic.
It was a really cool look, though. Like, she
I
looked
thought
really
it was
good.
too. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it.
Besides Maddie, Angeria looked really cool. I liked
Yeah,
her look.
I loved Angeria.
Just very polished. And then Jasmine's look was really cool, but mostly her wig. I really liked her wig.
I actually really like
Purple wig
Diabetes.
was everything.
Diabetes, I didn't mind either. I think it's the one time in the episode she looks the least crystallized, if you will.
Crystallized.
For sure. Oh no, for sure. And like in the entrance, the other queen was like, she's giving me serious vibes, but I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, me too.
Yeah.
It like almost bitch pudding, but like I know it's not bitch pudding.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that looking at it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked Angeria's look though. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree.
Yeah. There are mini challenges, also a photo shoot, but this time they're in a giant bowl of Tic Tacs. This is after RuPaul fakes a meltdown with poor Deja Sky. I'm like, did she do that with everybody? Or was it just poor little Deja? As they set up this photo shoot. But they all pose in this huge bowl of Tic Tacs. There's also fun stuff hidden in there. They find Santino's hat. And Maddie Morphosis doesn't know who Santino is, clearly.
So
Which
funny.
was a huge backfire on the joke entirely.
I kind of thought Rue's little acting stint was a bit over the top. Probably could have done without it.
Mhm.
The photo shoot itself was kind of interesting. It was like any other photo shoot challenge, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't really say like if anyone really stood out to me. I feel like in the last episode I had a couple people that really stood out to me, but in this one it was kind of like meh.
I felt like they all kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, but how much can you possibly do in a bowl full of Tic Tacs?
Right.
And that was the thing. I felt like this was way less challenging than some of the other ones that they've done. Like there was one where they had to like wash a car and the pit crew was out there.
I
and
remember
they
that.
right? And it was day
Yeah.
drag outside. And then there was another one where they were plunged underwater, of course. And like there have been so many other different photo shoots. Like I really like it when the photo shoots are challenging and the queens come back like, oh my gosh, shaking Tic Tacs out of your bra ain't that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I will say this season, between this and the wheel, I'd be like, yeah, put me in the bowl of Tic Tacs.
There wasn't that fun factor to it. It was just kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, take a cool picture, I guess. I don't know.
They all just kind of rolled around and were slutty in some Tic Tacs. The only one who did anything really different was Angeria. Angeria does in fact win the mini challenge, I think probably for that reason. And she looks fantastic in there. And I love that her entrance look clearly had a way she could take part of it off in case she needed to move around. She was prepared. Look at
The
that.
versatility. I was going to mention
Mhm.
that. I love the versatility of her outfit. She was ready for anything.
Yeah, that's a pro. That's awesome. And she wins $2,500 courtesy of JJ Malibu, just like the last episode. Okay, so the queens all get settled in and, they're told they have to do the talent show, blah, 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 blah. They start working on stuff and de-dragging. Then Rue does his walkthrough, right? And poor little Maddie Morphosis is trying to dodge left and right that, they're a heterosexual drag queen because they don't want that to be their narrative. So they haven't brought it up, haven't mentioned it, haven't talked about it, haven't discussed it, but of course production knows. And so it's almost the very first thing, and it kills me because Maddie wasn't the first person to get the walkthrough, and you can see how anxious Maddie is the entire time RuPaul is talking to other people waiting for their turn. And this was horrifying to watch, personally.
Well, also, sex and sexuality were the direct topic of conversation right before Rue walked in, which I don't think was a mistake either.
It was like almost disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I just like couldn't believe, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't talk about it or like it's not good to talk about it and how it could be beneficial in terms of opening the conversation. I just feel like this was not the way to do that.
It's also so, I don't know, when I meet other LGBT people, like I don't immediately ask, are you a gold star gay? Like that's not the first thing I ask someone. Yeah. And it just makes the conversations seem very staged to bring up this topic of conversation that is obviously going to make someone feel very uncomfortable with.
Yeah. And who
I just
even,
don't think it was very fair.
Who even talks about that stuff anyway?
Right.
It's like so weird. Yeah. I don't know. I really feel bad for Maddie. I feel like if they wanted it to be a discussion topic, they should have went to Maddie and said, hey, do you want to talk about it? If so, we encourage you to bring it up with the girls while we're filming. That's it. And then, you know, you talk about it at the reunion if you want to then interview her about it. That's kind of the place to do that. But just like throwing it out there, I don't know. And Rue knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, so. Yeah. What I'm afraid of happening is that this is going to get in his head, and it's going to be the only thing that anyone is going to focus on. So we're really not going to be able to see the unchecked artistry that he would have brought if none of this mattered.
Anyway, moving right along. So just like Lizzo last week before her, Alicia Keys, who's this week's star guest judge, also gets to be part of the walkthrough as they get ready for the runway. Instead, though, she is COVID-19 prepped, and she is pulling an Alyssa Edwards from behind the mirror. I expected her to eventually come out. Yeah, I expected her to eventually come out, but no, she just like lives in there the whole time like it's Snow White. It's really weird.
Beyond the looking glass.
They had fun with her though. That was cool. I will say Alicia Keys, I don't know what was going on, but she looked like she was 4 edibles in the entire time from here throughout most of the rest of the shoot.
He made this episode hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it. I want Alicia Keys to be there every week. Just like this. Yeah, just yes. Just like nodding. Yes. Loved it. So Rue, not quite as energetic as she was not quite as spry as she was last week. But comes out in this black gown. Looks really nice. She looks gorgeous. She's sparkling. But yeah, no dancers, no single promoting this week. Her meds are wearing off. She's tired. She's settling in.
I'm loving Michelle's dress this week. She looks very cute.
Yeah, it's, Michelle, the evolution is interesting. Like when you watch like season 4 punk Jersey Michelle with her mohawk and like thing, and she's like got the gloves and she's like, man.
Why is that the exact picture I had in my head when you
were
like,
yeah,
it's very
it looks really nice.
Like she's into that role, which is
like
great,
very very classy, but also very like very mature.
Are you kidding me? She's still sexy as hell.
Yeah,
she looks fantastic. I don't see like anything like maternal or old about this, except for maybe the print, because I hate flower print. But
yeah,
my personal preference, not hers. But yeah, she has certainly blossomed into her own. She looks amazing.
I like Carson's suit too. I like the way it shines. It's really nice. Alicia Keys, of course. You know, it's rough in the Matrix these days. Okay, so let's get into this talent show. So first we have Georges, who did her very own lip sync.
Oh my gosh, that's so original.
Yeah, I hate it when they lip sync. That shouldn't be your talent. You know, it's good that you're good at it.
Show for you.
Yeah, I feel like the whole point of having a separate talent show challenge is for you to showcase a separate signature talent. Lip syncing is not a signature talent. It's what you're all going to be expected to do there. Oh, so frustrating. She performed really well. Like it was fun to watch, but it's, you know, save it for when you need it, you know, do something else. Jasmine Kennedy also doing a lip sync, but dancing. I love that they specify that that the dancing was part of the talent, but Georges danced the entire time also. So it just kind of looked like the same thing to me, but you know.
This is like whoever it was last week playing the guitar. I can't remember her name. Alyssa Hunter, maybe?
Yeah. It's like they just kind of put up whatever they wrote down on the card or something. I mean, she did really well. It's not like she performed bad. It felt like it was more of the same.
That wasn't the question. The performance being good or bad was not the question.
Right. That's very true.
The lip sync.
Very true. Very true. And then we had Diabetti, who also performed a lip sync. This is half the group now. And I will say I liked hers the most.
For sure, but this is about as embarrassing as the Madonna challenge when everybody came out in that red caftan.
Yeah. It's like you got to be more like really like, oh, I'll do a lip sync as my talent. I'm sure nobody else is going to think of doing something like that. Like, come on. Anyways, Lady Camden did a ballet number, but did it in heels and did it obviously to some more upbeat, some more gay music. And I actually loved it. I thought it was a fun twist. I loved how she performed it. I kind of lived for it. I don't know about you guys.
I liked it too, a lot.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was amazing.
It was kind of like the how I felt about the burlesque act in the last episode, where they did the pedal thing. It's like it was that little bit that put it over, which made it not a boring ballet number. Not that ballet is boring. I don't think ballet is boring. Rue does, but I don't. But they did that little bit more that made it a special talent for them and made it their own, which I thought was really, really cool.
For sure, but I mean, no offense to her talent. I'm not trying to discount it at all. You could have pulled a rabbit out of a hat after 3 lip syncs and I would have been like, yay, talent.
True.
That's true. Like just something different, thank God. Then we had Deja Sky, who did a cheerleading comedy routine. And I think it's funny. Probably not for the reason Deja wanted me to think it was funny.
Right.
I think it's funny just because it was hard to watch. You know? Train wreck probably is how I would describe it. Unfortunately.
This was a miss.
Yeah. Oof. Then we had Maddie Morphosis, who played the electric guitar, which initially I was like, awesome. I was like, if they can actually play this guitar. Then for some reason they played the blues or something. That was like way too soft, I think, for what this show needed in terms of energy. I think if you're going to play the electric guitar, like do a rock song or do something, you know.
I was okay with the song. I was more like, why aren't you wearing like a dress or like something unexpected? Like pantsuit is okay for drag, but it's not necessarily my favorite. And
I would have been okay with it if she had moved around.
For sure. And it's not like they're playing the cello and you need to move the instrument between your legs and what you wear is important, right? Like
right. Then we had Angeria, who did an original song. Check. I actually really liked this, you know, especially compared to everybody else that we got. You know,
She looked like someone in this still, and I can't think of who she looks like. But I really liked her performance. I thought it was really good.
yeah, she was great. And I guess what I'm a little worried about is now next season, everyone's like, okay, the secret to winning the talent show is doing your original song, because that's what Cornbread did 2 and 1. I just think people need to do different stuff. Oh gosh. But Angeria did really, really well. I liked the song. I thought it was catchy. You know, the song itself is terrible, but like in a really catchy, like fun way. You have no choice but to kind of be into it, which is really smart.
Check.
Yeah, exactly. And she performed the hell out of that song. So good for her.
I think if the two had gone on the same episode, she would have won over Cornbread's song.
I agree. I definitely agree.
That's also why I don't like the split up, because not everyone is able to really position themselves where they should
The
be.
stakes aren't the
group.
same. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's weird. So then we got everybody's signature show-stopping drag.
Crystal Method totally stood out to me upon her epic return. That was such a poor choice, because it I don't understand how Diabetes didn't see how that looked so much like Crystal Method. And for a look that's supposed to represent you, and you're going to choose a look that looks so much like someone else that is so prominent on the same show, like, how did that not click? How did that not,
Yeah.
like, hello?
And it didn't fit her right. So
Right.
I'm wondering if
top
it
of
was
all of
someone
that.
else's. Yeah, I'm wondering if it belonged to somebody else and she brought it.
Maybe
Or
Crystal.
someone in the family.
Like, I just don't get it. It was so frustrating.
Yeah.
Maddie looked cool. I loved Maddie's look. I thought that was unique and different. I think this is where we really get to see the kind of stuff that she will bring. I do agree that it probably needs a little polish. It's definitely not up to a couple of the other competitors on stage, but it's different, which I'm really excited to see what else they have up their sleeve,
Right.
or in their neck hole.
Their giant opening.
Yeah, they're keeping neck hole on their shoulders there.
Big opening.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really liked Angeria, and I really liked that's Jasmine Kennedy. I really like Jasmine Kennedy. And I also really liked Maddie as well, but I will say Gottmik on the pit stop destroyed her because she pointed out that Maddie was wearing flats, like just black, plain flats, which
I saw that when Maddie came off the stage at the end of everything.
Yeah.
But I really liked the concept. However, there's no way that she would have been able to lean forward, that they would have been able to lean forward and be in heels. The balance would be completely off. She would topple over. Therefore, she could have opted to lift the whole dress up a little bit, be a little bit taller, and have the skirt come down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also
the dress would have had to then be much longer in length.
I would have. Oh yeah. Totally agree. The dress would have to come all the way to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I loved Lady Camden's look.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hers was great too.
Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah. And I agree. I think if Maddie's gown had been hitting the floor, had a train where you couldn't see any of it and it didn't matter, she probably could have gotten away with it.
Imperia's look was like something you'd see in like a top 3. Like ball. Like it was so polished and so beautiful. Like,
and I'm wondering if she's gonna have him all her looks at that caliber the whole week. She's got a
Yeah.
long way to go.
I hope she just does what most queens don't do and just said, I'm just going to bring it all every week and not hold out.
Okay, so tops and bottoms. So we get, becomes pretty obvious from the critiques that Georges and Angeria, I almost forgot her name, and Lady Camden are our tops. And Deja Sky, Maddie, and Diabetti are our bottoms, with Jasmine Kennedy. Jasmine Kennedy is safe. Do you agree?
I kind of didn't agree with this. I kind of would have put Jasmine Kennedy in the bottom.
I would too.
Maddie Morphosis, over her concept for her runway look, over her talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think Jasmine should have been in Maddie's spot. 100%.
Especially because I can't ever remember her name.
Exactly.
So that means she didn't stand out for anything.
Yeah, when I was making this, I was like, this person wasn't there. And I was like, who is this? And I was like, oh, they were. That's that
Take her
one
competitor.
Yeah, interesting. Once they are brought back out, we find out that Angeria is in fact the winner of this week's challenge. Do you agree? I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
She kicked butt.
I agree.
Look, talent, she's killed it.
Yeah. Angeria won $5,000 for winning the challenge, and because she also won the mini challenge, she's already up to $7,500 in winnings. Good for her. First day. So we get to the lip sync, and Diabetti and Deja Sky are the ones who are found to be in the bottom two. Maddie Morphosis is safe, and Daya and Deja have to lip sync to Alicia Keys' Fallen.
This was uncomfortable to me.
Yeah, I felt like, if anything, Diabetti was clearly not ready to be here. That being said, there's a clear winner between Katy Perry and Aretha Franklin here. And Diabetti is sent home. Okay, it's time for top tweets. Getting into the scoreboard. So as always, these are the competitors we started with. Oh, look how happy they are. And here's who we have left. As we have it now, the elimination order is the following. So Diabetti coming in 13th place after Orion's story as the second person to be eliminated so far. Up for elimination, of course, June Jambalaya was up for elimination last week. Deja Sky was up this week, so they are now both up, have been up for elimination one time each. 4 challenge wins. Angeria won the challenge this week, so now she's tied with Cornbread for first place. Angeria has won $7,500 so far. Cornbread has won $5,000. Willow, Bosco, and Lady Camden and Georges all placed high, but did not win, so they're tied for second. Carrie Colby and Jasmine both safe in their respective episodes, currently at third. Maddie Morphosis and Alyssa placing low in fourth. Deja and June needing to shape up, placing in fifth right now, as they were both up for elimination. Oh gosh, but right now it's still anybody's game, which is fun. This week's episode is called A Pair of Balls, where they do 2 different fashion balls this week on the runway. And it's going to be the first episode where the entire group, minus the 2 eliminated queens, are finally all together competing. But that's where we're at right now. So thank you so much for covering this week's episode again with me. For those of you listening and watching, thank you guys. You can watch more of our season 14 content as we roll it out this season. This is not my week, everybody. You can catch all of that here on the PG Media channel. You can also follow PG Media on social media, and you can find that information in the description below. And as always,
thank you for watching highlights.
See you next time.